Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. We fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom.
On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Mike and Bennett sit down to discuss feet. Feet, dude. Feet. Okay, now here's why, though. Like,
people are like, what the fuck?
I know, right? Okay, 1, foot care downrange. 2, fucked up shit that have happened to the feet, which we've all been there. Dude, I've humped until my feet have gone, red and bloody and shit like that. That's another thing. A civilian listening right now is like, this dude humped until his feet were bloody. Honey, we're doing it wrong. We're doing it wrong. This guy's humping until his feet are bloody. What kind of traction's he getting over there?
That's a hump.
We should buy him cleats. What's it? Right. So, all right, but here's what's spurring the idea of like a foot episode. I was playing around my kid a couple of weeks ago, and we've got these beach balls in the house. We've got a high ceiling in the living room. We can bounce around beach balls. My 3-year-old loves it.
Yeah, it's like a 20-foot ceiling, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so you'll love this too. So we shut all the doors upstairs, shut the baby gate so he can only go back and forth, because we've got like a loft up top, so he can only go back and forth up there, and I'll toss the balls up to him, the beach balls, and he just loves just running back and forth, picking them up and throwing them over the edge. He thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. Which, you want to talk about a serious shoulder workout? It's, I don't know, right. It's the little things, I guess.
Yeah, no, it is, because you get to play with the kid, and you're getting a workout.
Right.
All at the same time.
Right, like I swear, the best workouts I've ever gotten have probably been just wrestling around on the ground with a kid. But okay, so I'm kicking this beach ball with my son across the living room, and I'm gonna bend it like Beckham, right? So I mean,
of course you are,
dude. My heel's up near my head, right? I'm gonna kick the shit out of this ball. I'm just gonna kick the shit out of it. Whack! My toe catches like one of those plastic Jeeps that's about 1.5 feet long. My kid's got out there. Yeah, my pinky toe catches that thing at full blown. I'm gonna hook like a goddamn soccer ball, and it rips my toenail off. It was so ungodly painful, dude.
Well,
it was so bad.
Did that one actually come off?
It came off.
Well, I saw the one that was dangling, because you gave me pictures of that one.
Right.
Is that the same one?
Dude, same one. So it's the
yeah, you just hadn't completed the job yet.
Dude.
Dude, it's horrible. That picture was horrendous.
You're talking about...
it was ugly.
So when it happened, I knew... Oh my God, dude, it's so bad. When it happened, I was just like, oh, fuck. Like anybody does, you know what I mean? Just like, But you don't want to, like, swear in front of the kid also.
Oh, yeah, no, I got you.
Anybody who knows me, I usually watch my mouth when I'm out in public, but for some reason in front of a microphone, my public persona, I just say fuck all the time. It's weird like that.
It's fucking weird.
No big one. So I crush my pinky toe. Dude, it hurts so bad. Like, at one point in time, I was sitting there on the couch. My wife's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine, but I'm seriously contemplating chopping my toe off. Like, I just...
Yeah, no. I know what you mean, dude.
Do I really need it?
No, you don't even need, the pinky toenail. Why do we still have that little nub of annoyingness, So I have an actual sea story. Yes. Not like an actual like Marine Corps Navy sea story, but it has to do with toes and toenails almost getting ripped off and water. So fishing boat in the middle of the St. Lawrence River. This is probably like 6-8 years ago. And it's one of those nice like Monterey speedboats, right?
Yeah.
But we fish out of it. So it's got a platform on the back so you can like dive off, and the whole thing. Well, like those platforms, like the connector pieces, there's like those little grooves that are in there.
Yeah.
Right? That just catch shit all the time. Well, I was coming up over the back seat because I had to grab bait so I grabbed bait, went back over to regain my spot on the deck, on the back deck, and I fucking slip. Well, as my foot is going along, sliding, so imagine your foot's just slipping straight, right?
Right.
All of a sudden, the toe, not my little toe, it's the toe next to the little toe,
right,
catches one of those grooves, and all you hear is like snap, crackle, and pop.
Oh.
and my body keeps going, and I'm like, oh my God. And so
it's like you got fucking shot.
It ripped like half the toenail off that my left foot, and my toe was fucking broken. And they don't do anything for a broken toe. They just, yeah,
they just tie it to the other one.
They just like, so I had like this, what the hell do they call that? Like splint on it. And so I'm like walking around with flip flops forever and a splint. Now I was still in the, God, was it that long ago that I was still in the military? No. All right. So I was working for the nuclear industry at the time. Well, we had a uniform policy there, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, and we wore combat boots. So it was basically, we had a military uniform, gear, and combat boots, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So after recovering for like 3 or 4 days, I had to put combat boots on with that shit. And of course, if you say you're hurt, they unarm you. And nobody wants to be at work unarmed, because then you're stuck in the shit spots.
Right.
Because there's only a couple places where you can be unarmed.
Right.
So
they're not even going to give you a scatter gun and a wheelchair?
No, nothing. You're stuck working like the And I'm not even going to go into that because somebody might get pissed at me. But anyway,
right.
You can't. You can only work certain positions, none of which are response positions.
Right.
Because obviously responders need guns, and so it just sucks. So I'm hobbling around, but I'm like sucking it up while I'm walking in front of the supervisors and stuff. I'm just like, yep, nope, nothing wrong here. Everything's good. And on the inside, I'm screaming.
Meanwhile, you're cheating the team over here.
Basically.
Why's Tanton so fucking slow? What the hell's going on? Nah, adrenaline would have taken over. You would have been fine.
Oh, absolutely. I would have rocked it. But that's not the point. Oh. So yeah, that's my sea story foot injury. Nice. I'm trying to think if I have any others.
Oh, dude.
All right. So, but either way, I fucking hate them. They are the grossest nubbly things on the planet,
dude.
And like, oh my god, like I had this one buddy who was in the army. This dude had like a foot fetish, not for dude, like chicks' feet.
Right.
So you would like see these, like he would literally like have magazines that were like nothing but like feet. So like,
and that was just this game. That was this thing,
dude. That was this thing, and
I've always wondered that, man.
Like, dude, it was horrible.
Is that really like?
Yeah, there's dudes that like suck.
But there's like whole magazines that.
Oh yeah, and
are
like
just feet.
There's a whole like, well, it's kind of like scat porn,
dude.
Like that. There's that underground dirty scat porn.
Like, and I get it. To each his own. We're all a little fucked up or whatever. But like, dude, what would you do if you went into the porta shitter and the fucking pages are stuck together on some foot magazine? Like that, an investigation would ensue. I'm just saying, there would be a platoon investigation.
You see, like, dude.
I'm not saying throughout the company. I'm just saying that I would start asking people in the hooch, like, seriously, come on, man, is this really a thing? Like, I swear to God, I didn't know that there was a whole magazine full of foot porn.
It's a thing. Like, there's like that thing, and then there's like stuff with like where they gotta be wearing stockings.
See, now I'm doing the question whether or not I need an incognito window for this. You know what I mean?
Should I? You need to go. You need to go into the deep web.
Where you gotta go? Where's my Tor browser? I'm getting on here.
Tor browser. Oh man.
Oh dude.
Yeah, that's some creepy shit, man.
Dude. Okay.
There's some creepy shit on the deep web. You get on some of those websites. I have not done it from my computer. I can tell you that.
Right.
But wow.
You don't buy nuclear grade arms from your IP address? What
are you stupid?
You know? Oh my God, I gotta tell you this.
You can literally buy them.
One of my favorite sea stories of all time is, and it's from SOI on Liberty. It, like, being in infantry training battalion and going on Liberty is fucking crazy, in my opinion, because you really don't need that much money to get by.
It's one of the dumbest boot things ever.
Yeah, but
it's horrific.
Dude, to me, SOI was way worse than boot camp because there was not screaming and all that other bullshit, but it was like, why the fuck am I awake right now? And just, oh my God, is this what my life is like? And it was. I mean, it was kind of like, but I got to use my cell phone in the fleet and actually go off base.
You have to admit, there's something really shitty about living in open squad bays, but having like time off.
Right. Yes.
Because if you're back in the barracks,
fire watch. That's why.
Right. But if you're back in the barracks, it's the worst. It's the dumbest thing ever.
And you got to sign out with a libo buddy.
Yeah. What a dumb concept though. Fire watch. Really? I mean, I understand it's like an institution, but when you're in a barracks, come on. Right. But anyway, it's why. But yeah.
We take the cloud shuttle. Gotta love that. Out of what 52 area or whatever the fuck.
Oh man.
Yeah. Down off the 8 is the Goodnight Inn, which I have spoke of fondly before. It is a yellow, beautiful. It's like butter country yellow with white trim and the whole 9 yards.
God, it's like country crock.
Oh, dude. We go in there at, I think it was like 8:30 or whatever, and I swear to God, the guy behind the bulletproof glass, I'm like, what the hell did we just walk into? He was a little Asian dude, and he was like fresh off the boat, China, had the accent, the whole 9 yards, legitimate Chinese dude. I'm not gonna, okay, I'm gonna do the voice. So he's like, you Marine? Right? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, does the math real quick, you know what I mean? And he's like, okay, 8 maximum. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, 8 to a room, you're Marine. I'm like, all right, how much is that? He's like, $40. Like, what? Okay, so we're each gonna pay $5 for, just sleep, I don't know, like 8 dudes to a 2-bedroom room. Like, whatever. Right. Okay, we live in a squad base, so this is easy. So we walk outside and we button hook left as if we're gonna go to the beautiful countryside, whatever. And he's like, no. He walks me around, the group around to the back. Oh my God, dude. It was like the barracks in San Diego, only there were no rules whatsoever. I mean, literally, there was a guy.
And no firewall.
No firewall. And there was a guy.
What's this got to do with feet?
Oh, you'll see. So there was a guy riding a freaking grocery cart down the stairwell when we got there. Every fire alarm was on the roof next door because somebody got drunk and threw it. And they don't chain the whole, they chain the TV and the television stand in the room. It's crazy. We go to the strip club, less girls across the parking lot in this place. And we got my buddy Ward. I think it was Ward. This dude hates feet. And he especially hates living in a room with 8 Marines piled on top of one another. But he's going to go on libo, right? You know what I mean? So we pregame, we just get shitty drunk, right? And we're, 18 years old at the time. Yeah. Yes, because we got a bum to buy us alcohol.
Right, yeah.
Go us.
The best kind.
Go us. Hey, man.
And then you slip him like a Hiram Walker or something. Here.
Right. It was a 40 OE, but you were close.
A 40 OE.
No big.
Some MD 20, some Mad Dog 2020 electric blue flavor.
Let me just cut to the chase and say Steel Reserve. Okay, let's get out of the way. We're going to do half of this 40 of Bud Light, the whole 40 of Steel Reserve, then come back to chase it down with the other half of the 40 of Bud Light, because that's how you go to third period.
Right.
Right. So we go to the strip club.
Just not to cut you off. I had to give you real quick. My choice of malt liquor back in the day was St. Ides.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mickey's.
Well, Mickey's was good, but that was it wasn't getting enough. So we had to roll with St. Ides because you could get a 6-pack for $1.99 at the PX.
That's how you get drunk, people.
At PX, just saying. All right, continue, sir.
That is how you get drunk. So old boy just hated feet. We all knew it. We knew it because somebody threw a sock on his pillow and he freaked out in the squad base. Freaked out. So we already knew. We knew that he hated feet. So we got him drunk as shit and took him to the strip club.
He set himself up for that.
Oh, big time. And he was talking shit on the way. Oh, whatever. We're going to go out. We're going to get fucked up. It's going to be great. Whatever,
big
dude.
Dummy.
Just dummy. Talking shit the whole time. Right.
Big dummy.
So he's all fucked up and somebody else is buying him shots and whatever. And so I pull him out into the front room. And if you've ever been in a Les Girls, the ladies will go into the front room and try to catch stiffs on the way in to get a lap dance. And usually they'll hook them for 20 and give them like a song and a half and throw them out the booth, right? It's just kind of like the age-old fucking bait and switch. Third time you're in there, you're like, I know your fucking game. I'm going over here where there aren't any C-section scars. Let's go. So I got my buddy, right? Like I shepherd hook him across the neck, walk over there, and I'm like, which one you want, buddy? He's like, oh, yeah, that blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nope, I've already got you hooked up. Dude, this woman, hand to God, this woman was a good $1.80, $1.90. She had been sweating in platforms for a good 6-hour shift.
Working hard,
before we got there.
Got kids to feed.
Fucking bunions and shit shit. I mean, like,
got kids to feed and she's got tuition to pay.
Oh yeah, this is a hoss of a black woman. This is like
I said, tuition at the community college.
Right. I mean, she had the sass and the long fingernails, and I was just like, this woman is perfect. She was working hard for it. I was like, sweetheart, this guy, my buddy over here, I got it. I gotta say,
he loves some feet.
He fucking loves feet.
So wrong.
She's like, oh yeah, I got just the thing, the whole night. Don't worry, sugar. Oh my God, dude.
I think I just threw up in my mouth.
Midway through, pour some sugar on me. I look over my left shoulder.
Oh God.
She has got her feet. Okay, so she's in a handstand in like a 90-degree angle with her feet firmly planted on the deck and just mushing them.
Right, classic stripper move.
Like toes are in the mouth. Like she is flossing those things with the tongue. Just all up in there. Dude, he comes back. He's like that panic kind of flop sweat, real pasty. All the colors gone out of his skin.
He just went on a roller coaster.
Right.
Fuck him up.
He wants to cry, but his body doesn't really know if that's the right reaction, right? He sits down and he's trembling a little bit, in the shoulders, quivering from the lip. And I'm like, what's up, bro? How you doing? He's like, she put her fucking hooves in my mouth, man. Her fucking hooves.
Oh, shit. That's fantastic.
Dude, when we told him that story like a week later, he threw up in line for chow. Like the thought of that, he was like, and it all flashed back, and his mouth filled with puke instantly.
Oh, God.
It was a week.
Oh, God. Oh, man, that's horrible. Just so bad.
Oh, man. Oh, dude. That same night, my other buddy had just never been to a strip club, so we got him like the most cracked out. Like you're supposed to get him a looker or something, I don't know, whatever. You just, we're all drunk. We're all freaking 18, 19 years old, whatever. Completely just debauchery, And then you show up, check back in off the weekend, reeking of booze.
I'm crying right now. My eyes are freaking.
Oh, dude.
Whew.
Yep.
Shit.
She put her hooves in my mouth, man.
In my mouth. That's fantastic.
You can just picture it like chubby, black, sweaty. I mean, she had bunions.
Bad.
I can confirm beyond a reason of a doubt she had bunions.
Oh. Yeah.
Nobody
feet. No, nobody can touch my feet either. That's the other thing.
Oh, I love it.
Nobody. Don't fucking touch my feet. My kids, they mess with me. Oh, they undoubtedly get hurt every time.
Right.
Man, don't do it. Just don't touch them.
See, I don't fall either way on that spectrum. I don't mind getting them rubbed. I don't like getting my feet tickled. I don't think anybody likes getting their feet. Well, maybe that's
know. There's some sick fucks that do.
See, but it's not really sick. It's just whatever does it for you.
Sickness about it, I'm sure. There's some
debatable
some dark web stuff going on there, boy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, real quick, because it just kind of sprung up into my head. Field foot care. I don't know if you've ever done this trick, but one of the things I love doing, being a 29 Palms Marine, if we were like as garrison as you could get to where we could strip down and take all of our camis off and everything else, I preferred to sleep in my boxer, right? So I would take my boots off and I would take my socks off and put the open end of the sock over top of the open part of the boot, thus creating a screen so critters couldn't get into it, but also airing out my socks.
Yeah.
Did you ever pull that maneuver?
Never.
Really?
No, man. Just did lots of sock changes.
Yeah.
Followed Doc's advice. Lots of foot powder.
Did you do the white sock with a black sock on the outside?
Well, we did. Yes, I would do the white to the skin, and then usually, we actually had green socks. Yeah. So we do the white, and then the silky ones. Yeah. And then I would do the green ones. Nice. So I'd wear 2 plus the silky socks.
Yeah.
And that shit just just sucked. It worked always worked. Never. I very rarely got blisters. I mean, we all have a really good blister story, but very rarely did I get them. I mean, and the one time I did, I remember it was a bleeder, and we had one of the. It was literally like, and what happened is because my feet got wet.
Yeah.
So, or actually, it was one foot. My right foot got wet, and the next thing you know, it was one of those ones with every time I took a step. This is probably 15 miles into a 25-mile road march, and every time I took a step, there was blood. So you knew it was ugly. But then, actually, after wasn't so bad. It just had been a blister had torn, and then when it tore, it actually took some extra skin with it. So that was the bleeding. So Doc bandaged it up, dude, and I was, good to go in a few days. But I've never really had, I'm not one of those guys that had bad foot issues. You just had some guys that had those tender feet,
Right.
And I wasn't one of those. So I had issues with my toenails every once in a while. Like I'd get like an ingrown nail or something, but nothing ever horrible.
Yeah.
So not too bad. Like, I remember I had another buddy. He was one of my roommates who, I shit you not, it was like every 6 months he was like having surgery done on one of his big toes to get like half the nail removed or some crazy shit, you know?
Right? Some people, dude, I'm telling you, just ingrowns plague them, man.
Yeah, it was
we had guys
crazy.
like that. Yeah.
It was crazy. But he, but that, again, he was another one of those guys that was the only issue he ever had.
Yeah.
He never had like, horrible, like some guys literally like at their bottom of their foot's a blister.
Right. Oh, I've seen it.
Horrible. I might have had a hand. I mean, this is in a 10-year military career. Yeah. I might have had blisters on my foot. I could count it on both hands, and I'm not talking big blisters, everybody gets that hot. I'd get hot spots, but that's it.
Yeah, you put a little duct tape on there, you're golden.
Thank God I was a freaking road marching. That was one of my things I was good at. So, thank God.
Dude, that's the thing, man. It's like, I was never a very big runner, very fast runner.
No. Me.
But fuck, dude, I can hike. I never fell out of a hike. There were a couple of times where it's like, dude.
Carry massive weight, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember, especially like in the Marine Corps, whenever we would go up, I remember in Alaska, we were hiking up, just imagine Alaska,
right.
mountains and just crazy shit, right?
Fuck yeah.
And we're climbing up all that stuff. And I think at that point, this is at the time too, when our radio gear alone was just ridiculous. We had with this one, we're still carrying like prick 104s.
Right.
And I think we had what was the other prick that we had to carry? Not the 77. It was the
117 Foxtrot.
And we had it was like a prick 113 or 103. It was the UHF radio. Okay. So we had one that was the HF, which is the prick 107, I think. Either way, dude, we had two gigantic radios with all the freaking batteries. And this is when they thought that they got high speed because we had solar chargers all of a sudden. Right. So we could charge our batteries by the sun, but whatever. Anyway, that shit was heavy. That's all I know. So we were all, 7-man team because we had a doc with us and we were all carrying like 100 pounds at least. That was just in our ruck, gear total, I guess it's no different now. You roll out with 150 pounds of gear.
Oh yeah.
Problem is, it's a recon element. You shouldn't have 150 pounds of gear.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
so we literally just trained that we would basically just dump our pack.
Yeah.
Except for the RTOs, the only guy that really couldn't. And a lot of times what we would train whenever we'd break contact is he would dump his pack. And then the last two guys, the one guy would grab one armband, the other guy would grab the other shoulder band, and they'd go. They'd run together with the RTO pack. So
right.
Yeah, man. E&E, you better call for fucking help, homie. You better scream for the birds. We're fucked. We're compromised. Fuck out here.
That's like something that I just never trained. We would do like peels and blah blah blah, but I just never trained for just and then pop smoke, get the hell hell out of there so that it appears as though a company is shooting at you. That's just, it's not something that we needed to do. It was
run like 2 clicks to like an extraction point. And the whole idea, because we didn't have vehicles and stuff, was to, make everyone think that the world was coming to an end in front of them.
Right.
And then fucking run.
So the absolute, boil it down to baseline, we would go out and drive around, and they, meaning the elusive enemy in Ramadi, would try to hit us with something. If they hit us with something and slowed us down, then it meant a firefight. Then we called all of our ass into the fight, and it was always over.
Right.
So we would literally, we would call for QRF and then immediately get QRF. We would start hailing them within 60 seconds of calling them and being like, hey, you fuckers are not coming here straight away. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, right, no.
Now, what was like in Ramadi, say, all right? On an average day, if it got to where you were in the shit and you had to call QRF, how long would it take them to get there? Just average, I
mean, we held it really tight, so I would say 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, tops.
Insane. That's awesome.
You could go from laying in your rack to out the wire in about 2 minutes. And that's because you're waiting for the section leader to get the frago from the COC. Like, when you hear QRF from outside of the hooch, you are running out, throwing your gear on with a glow plug, right? So you immediately run up to the truck, because I was a driver, whip open the door and flip the switch on, and then start putting on my flak.
Yeah. No, we did the same thing when we ran QRF in Bosnia. It was the same. It was roughly the same.
And it is.
Now, what did you guys yell when it was
QRF?
Shit's hot, QRF. We ran, we actually yelled Forrest Gump, Forrest Gump, Forrest Gump, because it was Run Forrest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because no matter where you were at on the base at the time where we were at, everyone would come running from all over the fucking place. It's hysterical because everybody carried a radio. And so if you heard Forrest Gump, Forrest Gump, you'd see motherfuckers just screaming across, from like coming out of the PX fucking hauling ass or whatever.
I didn't even know, I swear to God, I didn't even know truthfully what a tick report was until I went to Afghanistan, or was training for Afghanistan, because we just didn't even use the term. Like, troops in contact, what the fuck are you talking about? Isn't that what you're trying to do? What? I don't understand.
Right.
So, I mean, I never threw up a tick when we were in Afghanistan. I knew what was going on, or I responded to them or something like that, or Air 81s. We had artillery with us. So we would get tick reports all the time. You can shoot fucking 30 clicks with one of those things. Like, you fuck some shit up.
So speaking of feet, how many Iraqis ran around with no freaking shoes on?
The sad thing is, it was primarily the children who didn't wear shoes.
Right. And see that's what I was getting at. That's the pictures you see, as these kids rolling around with no shoes on.
Yeah.
I bet they got like leather freaking feet, man.
They do, yeah.
For sure.
Well,
and unless they're guys throwing shoes at George Bush. Then those guys don't match. Those guys don't. That was one of the craziest trust guys I've ever seen.
Dude, you got me. Oh, my God.
All of a sudden, you see homeboy. And George is quick.
Oh, dude. He was out of the way.
Threw it down like a little ninja. Little duck on it, man.
Don't be trying to throw
thought I was watching Ip Man. Right. Little freaking duck. It was some shit. Secret Service, man. Where are you at?
Throw your plastic sandals at somebody else.
Exactly, you asshole.
Sharia law loving motherfucker.
That shit was hysterical. It really was. The reason I laugh is because, as funny as that is, ladies and gentlemen, because Mike and I figured out that we were going to talk about feet a few minutes before we started this, right? Well, what's funny is earlier today I actually saw that video. That's what's fun.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. I was laughing my ass off.
Did I tell you that I gave George Bush props on that? No. Personally, face to face.
Oh, did you?
Shaking hands. And I was like, hey, good moves with that shoe, sir. Fantastic. I swear to God, he's the only president who has ever visited St. Marines Chow Hall. And when he flew in, the Secret Service put up like a metal detector so that we could go into the Chow Hall. Oh, my God. And I look at the lady and I was like...
That's crazy. Why would they do that?
And dude, it was a female Secret Service agent who was sitting right there. And I have mad respect disrespect for anybody in those positions. Don't get me wrong, but I'm setting the scene here, right? And you know what it's like? They've got the hair pulled straight back into a bun, looking mean mugging the same way anybody else would. Hard target. They're just hard target. And I looked at her and said, we're Marines. Do you understand that you could go into a prison and have a higher survival rate? And she's just like looking at me, looking around, blah, 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 kind of a deal like, oh, holy shit. And I'm like, what the fuck do you think we do out here? Like, all I do all day long is thinking about it, just killing. Just kill. That's it.
To kill the enemy.
Praying every day that I get an opportunity to kill. And I'm doing so in the name of freedom and America and everything else. And the last person in the world that I want to kill is the fucking president. Like, why are you making me go through a chow all fucking... Right. And then they had a plate that was ready for him. And he was like, no, man, I'm not going to have that. Like, he's like, I'm good. And he just hopped in line with everybody else. And I'm like, I don't know if this... There was no press there. So it's not like it was a press stunt thing. There wasn't anybody... It's fucking 29 Palms. When
he came to Fort Drum. Yeah. All right, so he gave a speech, but before that, there was like no press. Like nobody even really knew he was coming. Yeah. From what I remember, nobody really knew that he was coming even, and he just like showed up and did like an impromptu freaking hi to everyone on Fort Drum. It's crazy.
Like, what's up, guys?
Which is pretty cool.
Dude,
was.
See, we need to get my buddy on here because I got a couple of buddies who worked Yankee White up at Camp David, and nothing like weird top secret shit, blah blah blah. They just have awesome sea stories about the president, and it's like the George Bush used to fucking just run Marines into the dirt. Like that dude is a PT stud, I guess.
Right? Yeah. And I've heard the same thing.
And he like bicycles all the time, and my buddy, dude, we got to get him on here. But he tells me this story. It's so fucking hilarious. He's sitting in there. He's COG at the time, right? He's corporal of the guard. And he's just like, oh, man, this sucks. Whatever. Secret Service is outside the wire. They've got, POTUS at the time, or, POTUS to us. I have no idea what his actual call sign is. All of a sudden, cell phone rings, right? This should be wait, was it a cell phone? No, it was the landline rings, which like nobody calls the landline. It all goes through the main switchboard. It might have been a cell phone though, because cell phones are not allowed, right, by any personnel that are there, and that's why it was like, hey, why the fuck is this happening? But it winds up being the president. Like, hey, man, I lost my Secret Service a while back. Like, those guys suck. We're gonna need pickup because I have no idea where I'm at. Right. You know what I mean? So, and then I assume...
I'm like up in some weird, valley in Maryland here.
Right.
Like,
at which time my brain's firing off like, dude, you're so full of shit. I know they gotta have some sort of tracking device on that motherfucker. They have to.
Hey, did you ever, when you were in at Quantico, did you ever go, there was a restaurant that has like the Camp David Museum in it. There's like, it's not in Quantico, it's in Maryland somewhere. It's like, somewhere in the vicinity, because no one really knows where Camp David is.
I can find that shit on Google Maps right now.
Look on Google Maps right now. Exactly what I'm saying. But it's in the vicinity of Camp David. It's like an all-you-can-eat restaurant.
Nah, I haven't been. I usually just drive right through.
Something called like Cody's or something like that. Either way, that Camp David Museum's pretty cool if you have a chance to go. So.
Oh, quick little thing, by the way. If you are listening and feel like it's cool to walk up and take pictures, don't do that. Don't walk up to Camp David and try to get in there. You'll get fucked.
All bad.
Like real bad. Like the highly trained people on that base right now. It's a compound, people. But it's funny though. It's funny because whenever I talk to my buddies about it, I'm like, look, man, I'm not trying to get details or anything. Is it compound-esque or is it actually like a home? And he's like, yeah, man, it's like a home. It's got like wood side and shit like that.
Crazy, right?
It's building.
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
It's where he's supposed to go relax. I will say this.
And yes, there's a contingent of Marines that live there.
Right. And there's also Secret Service police and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. But there really is like a contingent of Marines. Yeah. People think of like, they see, because the only Marines they ever see on security detail with the president is the dude, the guys right there at the White House like out show. But yet they don't show all the behind the scenes stuff where there is like real live Marines like in the woods, freaking, walking post and all the other shit, It's not just Secret Service. So anyway.
Right. Because that's kind of the thing that people don't necessarily realize. The general public, when they look on, the Secret Service is right there as far as a line of defense and the bodyguard-esque of executive protection, but they're there to get him out of there.
Right.
So that's kind of the other thing that...
Well, they're the inner layer of the onion.
Right. So while we create that phalanx of destruction and violence, they have the ability to get him to safety.
And then you also have the uniform Secret Service, too.
Right, the police side.
Which are always... yeah, but anyway. All right, so we go from feet to freaking presidential security.
No big whoop.
So let's...
Yeah, let's get back to my story, which started this bad boy up. So earlier today, hence why we're talking about feet, I am walking into the house, right, in my flip-flops, and I look down, and there is a patch of grass in between the nail and what should be the nail bed. It doesn't hurt, nothing, but there is a tuft of grass in between my nail and the toe. And I'm like, well, that's not supposed to happen, right? Like, and you saw it was just kind of pulling up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it was horrible.
Right. No, dude, full 90 degree.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Straight up in the air, flopping.
What, are you like Jeff Goldblum on The Fly or something?
Dude.
You remember that? Did you ever see that movie, The Fly?
I did see that movie. I think I gave it like
his nails start peeling off. Yeah, man. That's what Penny's got going on his feet.
No. So this is the craziest thing about it. So the nail, when I originally broke the shit out of the pinky toe, snapped in half at the cuticle, and then essentially was together the entire time.
That's fantastic.
Oh, it's heinous at the same time.
Cuticle.
So now this cuticle, only the cuticle, is hanging on to a nail, which I still have, by the way. I put it in a plastic bag, because why the fuck wouldn't you?
Dude, and it's horrible.
So now the cuticle has the original nail growing out, and then you've got a new nail underneath, completely separate. They are not attached in any way, that is growing underneath. Like 80% of the nail is there. So I'm like, well, I clearly need to rip this nail off. I mean, it just needs to happen. It's like a hangnail at this point. I mean, it literally, there's no pain involved here, people. Nothing. You got skin holding on a completely detached nail. It's really gross, but it doesn't hurt. I pulled that mother trucker off of there. Bob's your uncle. Like brand new under there. I mean, like 80% brand new, but who the fuck cares? The pinky toe. At least I don't have a tuft of grass stuck underneath it.
It's just a waste. It's a waste of
Well, there's a lot of balance coming out of the pinky toe.
Oh, yeah, well, the pinky toe. I'm not saying the pinky toe's a waste. I'm just saying the nail is a waste.
Yeah, I don't think we need nails on.
I think we need to evolve out of that. I think we need to evolve away from that.
It takes like 20,000 years for a human being to actually seek a serious adaptation like that. Isn't that crazy?
No, it happens so fast.
See, and then you see guys like Wim Hof who's going up Everest without oxygen or fucking clothes. Did you see that guy's wearing silkies summiting Everest?
Silkies.
He put on crampons and shoes because his bare feet were slipping on the ice.
Wait, excuse me?
That guy's tougher than I am. Like, I don't even know
he's tougher than anybody.
Oh, God. And he's like taking 75-year-old men up Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
And bare feet. And so I don't know. I mean, maybe hobbits do exist. I don't know.
Maybe they do.
Yeah, maybe we're like deer and you can just shunt it off at the knee. That'd be badass.
So just to bring it up, talking about guys that aren't pussies, did you see, and you know what? I'm just going to bring it up. I'm not endorsing any political stuff because we don't really talk about that. But dude, Gary Johnson, the Libertarian Party candidate, is not a pussy.
Oh, I didn't see this guy.
So he's the Libertarian Party candidate, right? Which is like legitimate this year because it's Hillary and Trump, dude. I mean, everyone's like, no, this is horrible. Like the world's coming to an end. You know, there's that whole group of people, right? Well, this guy, like I think he has summited like so many major peaks on like all 7 continents, and the dude's done like crazy stuff.
That's awesome.
And one of his things, I remember, damn it. I started talking about this and I didn't have it ready. I thought I did.
I'm trying to remember the climber's quote or the name of the guy. They asked him, they're like, why'd you climb all those mountains? And he's like, because they're there.
Yeah, because they're there. Yeah, dude. So this guy's not a pussy. His thing is, if he were to actually get to debate Trump, he'd be like, yeah, well, you're a pussy. And they'd be like, well, why are you a pussy? Because you're a fucking pussy.
See, this is why we would rather talk about weed.
No, I know. Gary Jones. Mount Everest. Yeah, no, he's mounted Everest, if I'm not mistaken.
He mounted Everest.
Mounted Everest. All right, so that's it.
He summited Everest.
He has climbed all 7 of the 7 summits.
That's what I'm going to do when I get to the top of Everest. I'm going to be like, now it's time for me to mount you.
Right. All 7 of the 7, the tallest or whatever, like Denali and Everest and all those.
Here I was thinking I was a badass up in Bridgeport making it to the 8,000-foot parking lot. Nope. Not that badass. My feet hurt then, too.
Yeah, man.
Oh, dude.
So I was talking about feet. He doesn't, he's not a pussy. So the only reason, and frankly, you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I'm just putting it out there. I'm going to vote for him because here's my opinion. Here's how it is the 2-party system's fucked, right? We need some different shit going out there, right? We need something to happen that's different because, if you don't do anything different, it's just insanity, right? That's the definition of insanity. Trying to do the same thing over and over again. If you keep, electing the same fucks over and over again. So what I want is the Libertarian Party to get at least 5% because then we get the Libertarian Party gets matching public money or they get access to public money, which changes the game because all in all, it's about money nowadays to run a political campaign. So it's just, we need change. That's it.
Gary Johnson, huh?
So it's him so you've got him. He's a former New Mexico governor. And then you have Republican New Mexico governor. And then you have his running mate, which frankly, I can't even remember his name, but he is the former governor of Massachusetts, not Mitt Romney though. I can't remember his name.
Dukakis?
No, it's not Dukakis. That fucking clown.
You gotta
I remember when he ran president. Holy shit. William Weld, Republican governor of Massachusetts, William Weld. But anyway, so this guy's not a pussy. He freaking climbed. So we're probably going to have to. Oh, there it is.
He mounted Everest.
He mounted Everest. He mounted Mount Elbrus. Where's that?
Oh.
Denali, Kilimanjaro, Mount Vinson, some freaking Carl Stein's pyramid, which is the tallest peak in Asia, and then some other freaking peak that I can't pronounce. That's in Argentina.
Nice.
In the Andes. So homeboy doesn't play games. It's like George Bush with the,
with the PT.
With the running, the PT. This homeboy can PT, man.
Getting hack away.
And he almost died in a paragliding accident. So, the hell. And he used medicinal marijuana for pain control from 2005 to 2008. So, just saying.
Nice. There you go. It's got all the right reasons. Yep. Well, there's that. And then I'd love to give all of you folks a great piece of advice. If you don't like feet, don't get wasted drunk with your buddies. Go to a strip club.
Ever.
I'm just going to throw it.
Especially if their buddy's name is Mike Penny.
Yeah, because that will fuck you up. I'm telling you right now. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be good. Like later on, dude, that same weekend, we got into a Hooters brawl, and I threw the hula hoops across the fucking bar.
Jesus Lord.
I was this is over. This is like, what, 12 years ago? Come on, man. Everybody was a shithead back in the day, right?
It's awesome.
God bless America, no one else. And on that note, we cue the music.